Nearly 2 full decades into the new millennium, 2019 promises to deliver the conclusion of the brand new Star Wars trilogy kicked off with The Force Awakens, the 25th installment of the James Bond franchise, and more sequels, reboots, superheroes, and video game-based properties that we can shake a Godzilla at. Here, we'll take a look at the 10 most anticipated movies of 2019.
We're in!
We checked IMDb to see which 2019 movies are generating the most interest from users browsing their pages, and combined it with MovieWeb's own data. We know you're going to sound off in the comments about which movies you're anticipating the most.
Can you erase this, please?
No, it's too late.
And we welcome and expect that. Just bear in mind, this is a list that we put together based on what people are looking at right now. And number 10, Suicide Squad 2. It may not have been a critical darling, but Suicide Squad made plenty of money, which all but ensured this DC Comics supervillain team-up would get a sequel.
Hi, boys!
News of various movies in development involving breakout Suicide Squad star Harley Quinn, and other projects involving different incarnations of the Joker, have flooded sites like ours in recent months. As we're making this video, the director attached to Suicide Squad 2 is Gavin O'Connor, the man behind 2011's Warrior. Warrior starred a DC Comics villain of its own, Bane himself, Mr. Tom Hardy. Number 9, Shazam. The ever-expanding DC movie slate continues with Shazam, from Lights Out director David F. Sandberg. Zachary Levi stars as the title hero alongside Mark Strong,
You're too kind.
who played hero-turned-villain Sinestro in 2011's Green Lantern movie. Whether or not Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will appear as Shazam foe Black Adam remains to be seen. We very well may have to wait for Black Adam's own movie. Number 8, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. There aren't any superheroes in the latest Godzilla movie, as far as we know, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have any connection to the costume-heavy genre. Writer-director Michael Dougherty was one of the writers responsible for X2, X-Men United, Superman Returns, and X-Men Apocalypse, after scoring an opening weekend hit with the Christmas-themed horror romp Krampus, which followed his well-received Halloween anthology Trick or Treat. Dougherty was given the reins to take charge of the King of the Monsters. The cast includes Stranger Things' Millie Bobby Brown and Sally Hawkins from The Shape of Water and the Paddington movies. Number 7, the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff. Action movie fans rejoice.
Bring him on.
It looks like we'll be getting 2 Fast and Furious related movies in as many years. First up, a spin-off movie about the unlikely duo of Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw. It's slated for 2019. Though originally scheduled for the same year, the 9th installment of the main franchise has moved to spring 2020.
Well, that would be the same kind of funny math.
As of the time of this writing, the Hobbs and Shaw spin-off was eyeing the director of Deadpool 2, one of 2018's most anticipated movies.
Isn't that a little derivative?
Fast 9 should most assuredly see the return of series star Vin Diesel, though almost everything else about it remains unknown, considering the social media flare-up from Tyrese Gibson over Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham making their own movie.
The stupidest idea I've ever heard of in my life.
On the heels of the much buzzed-about tension between Johnson and Diesel on the fate of the Furious. But Instagram posts in late 2017 indicated that all was well between the various action stars, with Diesel claiming the Fast 9 delay wasn't anyone's fault in particular, and Tyrese celebrating the rumored return of fan-favorite director Justin Lin. Number 6, Now You See Me 3. IMDb users continue to flock to the page for Now You See Me 3, despite a general lack of news and information about the movie, aside from the return of director John M. Chu. Deadline reported that most of the cast, which includes Jesse Eisenberg and Dave Franco, is expected to return. The studio was reportedly so happy with Now You See Me 2, they greenlit a third movie before the second was even released. The second installment in the Crime Caper franchise earned more than $334 million around the world.
It's great stuff.
In the summer of 2016, and set an opening record for its distributor in China. Lionsgate has even developed a Chinese spin-off to be produced out of Beijing. Number 5, Spider-Man sequel. Despite rebooting the beloved wall crawler for the big screen so soon after The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which came not all that long after Sam Raimi's original trilogy, Spider-Man Homecoming provided an excellent, proper launch for Tom Holland's take on the character.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Which had been introduced via extended cameo in Captain America Civil War. There are also a number of projects in development at Sony for their MCU-adjacent Sony Marvel Universe, including Venom and Silver and Black. Number 4, Marvel's The Avengers 4. Speaking of the Avengers, the events of Infinity War are set to conclude in the as-yet untitled 4th Avengers movie, once again from Joe and Anthony Russo. The director duo posted a photo of the Avengers 4 wrap cake on Twitter in mid-January. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Chris Hemsworth are at the end of their lengthy Marvel contracts, so the stake movies are higher than ever. Number 3, How to Train Your Dragon 3. Is How to Train Your Dragon 3 really more anticipated than Avengers 4? Well, by the looks of IMDb, that's the case. Never underestimate the power of young children and the parents who will take them to see their favorite movies, especially when the movies are as consistently good for fans of all ages as the first two Dragon Training adventures. The first movie sits at 98% with critics on Rotten Tomatoes, with a fan rating of 91%, and How to Train Your Dragon 2 isn't far behind in either category. Number 2, Toy Story 4. Did we mention kids, parents, and franchises that are so good, people of all ages can enjoy them equally? Inside Out head of story Josh Cooley, who started at Pixar as an intern on Cars, is in the director's chair. The Toy Story 4 script is by Stephanie Folsom, based on a story from the legendary Pixar Brain Trust. Original Toy Story director John Lasseter was set to co-direct, until he announced a leave of absence from Pixar on the heels of sexual harassment allegations against him. Toy Story 3 earned $1.1 billion worldwide. Number 1, Captain Marvel. The Marvel Cinematic Universe finally puts a female superhero front and center with Captain Marvel. First announced as part of the Marvel Phase 3 film slate back in October 2014, originally scheduled for release in July 2018, and pushed back to make room for the addition of Spider-Man to the MCU via that special deal with Sony. Captain Marvel will arrive between the third and fourth Avengers movies, causing rampant speculation among fans about what role Carol Danvers and her alter ego will play in the larger tapestry of Earth's mightiest heroes and their associated characters. Captain Marvel stars Brie Larson, Jude Law, DeWanda Wise, Ben Mendelsohn, and Samuel L. Jackson as a 90s version of Nick Fury with two working eyes. The levels of anticipation online, on social media, and everywhere else will of course shift between the time you watch this video and the release of each of these films. Some sites already place Toy Story 4 and Avengers 4 well above Captain Marvel, for example. There are also some conspicuous absences from the list of movies most often read about by IMDb users, movies we know to be very anticipated, including Star Wars Episode 9, a new Terminator produced by James Cameron, Transformers 7, video game movies Sonic the Hedgehog and Minecraft, Daniel Craig's next and possibly final turn as James Bond, a movie based on the Broadway musical Wicked, X-Men related movies The New Mutants and Gambit, the Hellboy reboot, and sequels to the Lego Movie, Wonder Woman, The Secret Life of Pets, and Top Gun, to name but a few.